This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Four Horsemen for Life says, "Hey Arn, whatever happened to the patented one arm behind the back body slam that the Andersons used? I don't remember seeing that in the last few years."
The last few years of me working.
I mean, even now, you don't see many guys do it now.
No, because it was passed down to me from Gene and Ole. And it had a meaning because, you know, they would have guys submit. You know, that was, you know, a lot of the times, you know, Ole would jump off that second turnbuckle. Gene would have a guy stretched out and drive that knee into his shoulder, put on an arm bar, make the guy quit. That was handed down to me, and I utilized it. You know, it wasn't something that was, you know, the business has evolved, and it was evolving to, you know, slamming a guy on the arm, which I thought looked vicious because you trapped it and his own body weight came down on it. You know, I thought was just a good softening up move.
Right.
It wasn't a kill shot, and everybody was, you know, this was an era when guys were doing stuff off the top and clotheslining your head off and power slamming and you name it, power bombing. You know, it wasn't that appealing, I would think, to most guys. But I had a history with it. I worked an arm a lot. I worked a body part a lot. But when I worked an arm, that was one of the things I would do to help soften it up. And people would remember Ole and Gene doing it. So it made sense. I don't know how much sense it would make for somebody else to do it.
I've always wondered, and boy, I know I'm earning myself a Spinebuster when I see you for asking this. But back in the day in your promos, you used to say that you were brought up the old way. You take a body part, you render it useless, blah, blah, blah. And the Andersons always worked on the arm. And then your finish is a Spinebuster. Did you ever consider an arm submission? You just mentioned a minute ago that you would, you know, your quote unquote family members would use an arm bar as a submission hold. Did you ever consider an arm submission or something like that? Until
I settled on the Gourd Buster and the Spinebuster, which I created both of, by the way. Until I settled on those, I did have a few guys when I first came to Crockett, was on Atlanta TV. I did have a few guys submit the arm. My first TV with Crockett, which was syndicated, I broke a guy's arm. If you go back to that very first TV, which would be around March the 5th or something, 1985, my very first television, they had me go out with a kid, and I stayed on the arm and broke the arm, and down came Manny Fernandez and stuck his nose in it. And I left him laying, and that had he and I, you know, off running with an angle. My very first TV broke a guy's arm, and a lot of people don't remember that, but it's a pretty good launching pad dropping Manny behind it, because him and Dusty were the World Tag Team Champions at that time, I believe.
So I guess my question is, when you adjust to the Spinebuster or the Gourd Buster, did you consider adjusting the rest of your offense to not just be arm focused?
And I did. I thought I did anyway. I would, you know, if I decided I was going to work on a guy's leg, I stayed on the leg. If it was a back, I tried to stay on the back. But I did believe you could wear a guy down, wear his arm down to where he had problems fighting back.
Yes.
Which left him susceptible to a power move.
Yes.
Because he couldn't protect himself like he could if he had both arms. So weakening that arm had more strategy in it than just getting a guy's arm where he couldn't use it and then making him submit. It was basically to get him at a disadvantage where I could stick him with a power move, was the psychology.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.